I hope this is going to be a really interesting presentation for you. I recently read a paper by Dr. Shu, which is very interesting. Called "The Long Journey of Lithium from Big Bang to Our Smartphones," and very very interesting results and very interesting story. So, as usual, the way it works is that Dr. Shu, you have about 20 minutes to present. 2 minutes before the end of your presentation, I will come back in to give you the heads up. And a reminder to the audience, don't be shy. Type in your questions on the right-hand side. We will ask pretty much all the questions from our speakers. So without any further delay, Dr. Shu, the stage is yours, and you can start.
Thank you, Kasia, for the introduction. It's my pleasure to be speaking here to the audience. Today, I want to tell the story of how lithium-ion battery was invented. As you know, that is the most popular electrochemical device ever made in the history of mankind, because everybody has one in his hands. So lithium actually was nuclear synthesized in the first few minutes of the Big Bang. That's about 13.7 billion years ago. And its abundance stabilizes quickly. However, compared with other elements in the universe and also on this planet, the abundance of lithium is relatively low, and right now there's still not sufficient understanding why this is the case. In terms of specifically on this planet, the lithium is not only rare but also distributed unevenly, and most of the Earth's lithium resource concentrated in this small area we call that a lithium triangle, which is intersected by the borderlines of three countries: Argentina, Bolivia, and Peru. You can see here, there's one white dot, that's Lake Atacama. This lake provides about 30 to 40% of today's lithium carbonate on the international market. However, to the north of this lake, there's another one, big giant white spot, which is Uyuni, that's in the border of Bolivia. And that lake contains even higher abundance of lithium and remains unexplored until today. And if you go there in the dry season, you can directly drive the car over the surface of the lake. So for the many decades to come, this lake will contain most of the lithium reserve the world needs if we don't move away from the lithium-based chemistries. So lithium was nuclear synthesized many years there. However, its discovery was relatively more recent. When I dig into the historical literature, I found this very precious piece of letter written by Berzelius, dated 1818 January. In that letter, if you can read German, you understand that it says that a year ago, a young Swedish chemist named Alf Widersen started research in my lab, and in a mineral called pedalite, he came across a new alkaline. Since this new alkaline is discovered for the first time in the stone, they decided to call this lithium, and the corresponding metal element should be called lithium. To my knowledge, this is the very first time that the word lithium appeared in print. So a few years after the discovery of lithium by Alf Widersen, Thomas Brandy successfully isolated this metal, and the way he used was water pile, which is the earliest version of the battery. So from that day, lithium is closely associated with battery. Until today, we are still making lithium in this way, electrochemically. So it took a long time for people to realize how powerful lithium would be to battery. One example, interesting one, is one novel written by Eunice Verne. About 60 years after the discovery of lithium, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In that novel, he gave his hero the most powerful battery in the world, known at the time, which is sodium. And this changed until doesn't change until like 100 years later. But before that, there are many lithium uses in wide variety of applications which has nothing to do with battery. For example, mid 1800s, people found that lithium can be used as some sort of medicine because it has mode elevation effect, basically saying that it can elevate your mode, make you happy if you take that as a medicine. Until today, doctors still prescribe this medicine called lithiumite, which is basically lithium carbonate, to cure the mental disease, bipolar disorder. And in early 1930s,